Sorry, no worries.
Thank you for being here and thanks for listening to that conversation.
And thank you all for your very hard work for our kids.
And I believe you'll have 3 minutes tonight, and just go ahead and state your name and Kara will start the timer.
I am Dr. Effie Greathouse. I'm an environmental scientist and I'm a mom of 2 kids at Hayhurst Elementary. I am one of a few moms here tonight to ask you to make some smart, cost-effective investments of ESSER dollars into safe indoor air for PPS classrooms. My kids' school, Hayhurst, is a school in which the HVAC system does not even provide one single change of air per hour in 15 out of 22 of our classrooms. In addition, the MERV 13 filters that the district installed, they'll help during wildfire season, but they do nothing to stop the spread of airborne viruses in Hayhurst classrooms. The MERV 13s do nothing to improve those scary low airflow numbers for respiratory infections because 100% of the little airflow we get in our classrooms is outdoor air. And while I'm glad that the district staff did their best at the time in securing the IntelliPure air purifiers, the IntelliPures are not enough. The cleaned air they provide is inadequate, even if they are run at full speed. But they can't be run at full speed because they're too noisy, like a jet engine when they're at full speed. When our teachers at Hayhurst run their IntelliPures at the speed level that the noise is acceptable, half speed, we still have 13 classrooms that don't even get 2 air changes an hour, and 2 more classrooms that get exactly 2. And I want to put that number into context. At 2 air changes an hour, it takes 1 hour and 9 minutes for the HVAC system and the IntelliPure to clear out 90% of the kids' respiratory aerosols. In the fall, I watched the White House's Summit on Indoor Air Quality, where the nation's leading environmental health advocates and indoor air experts described the need for a safe indoor air revolution in our schools. And they emphasized the availability of ESSER dollars for investing in the ventilation and air filtration kids in schools need. Getting IntelliPures was a good first step. The next step we need is to use a small portion of the 75 million PPS has from ESSER 3 to add adequate air filtration capacity to the classrooms where the IntelliPure is not enough. The American Rescue Plan says that ESSER dollars should be used for upgrade projects to improve the indoor air quality in school facilities, including filtering, purification, and other air cleaning. We need more filtration capacity to protect kids, teachers, and families from the spread of COVID, flu, and colds, and to reduce further learning loss from respiratory viruses and asthma triggers that keep kids and teachers home sick instead of in class.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kendra Larson. My son goes to Bridger Elementary School. I'm also speaking on the need to use a portion of the ESSER 3 funding for safe indoor air. We need more filters, as Dr. Greathouse described, and we need targeted airflow measurements. It is really fabulous that PPS conducted airflow testing in 2021. Speaking at the EPA Spring 2022 webinar series on school indoor air, the head of Boston Public Schools Environmental Health and Safety Department spoke on how you manage what you can't manage what you don't measure. Okay? So the PPS did all these critical measurements is great, but there are some gaps in airflow reports as they were published. The first gap is the reports calculate total air changes per hour, or ACH, for if the IntelliPure is running full speed. IntelliPures, as Dr. Greathouse mentioned, cannot be run full speed in classrooms. So we have to run corrected calculations that reflect the IntelliPure running at half speed. The second gap is that in 16 schools, the airflow. Sorry, everyone, I'm kind of nervous. Okay, nice to meet you. I volunteer in my son's classroom, and I can attest that these are very loud machines. The second gap is that in 16 schools, the airflow reports were done prior to the school being upgraded to MERV 13 filters, and have ACH, that's air changes per hour, calculated with the old MERV 8 efficiency factor. So we have run a new set of calculations for those schools using the MERV 13 factor. Those are 2 gaps that our group is able to address. But there are other gaps that PPS needs to address by doing airflow reports for schools that do not have them. Access Academy and the new Lincoln High School need airflow testing done. And my son's Ritter is going to need airflow testing after the planned HVAC system upgrade. Likewise, for Harrison Park, Lent, and Kelly, airflow testing will need to be done. So we know what those upgrades accomplish for ventilation and how whether the new airflows meet or fall short of ACH benchmarks and recommendations. What are the ACH benchmarks that classrooms need to meet for safe indoor air? The Oregon Health Authority recommended 3 to 6 to PPS, but at 3 air change per hour, it still takes 46 minutes for the HVAC system air purifier to clear out 90% of respiratory aerosols hanging in there.
You can just, finish your lesson.
That is why the California Department of Public Health recommends 6 to 12 ACH for schools. And that is why the Lancet Task Force on Safe Work, Safe School, and Safe Travel recommends at least 6 of these ACH as best for safety from all airborne respiratory infections. At 6 ACH, it takes only 22 minutes to clear out 90% of aerosols. And higher you go above 6, it's even quicker, making classroom air better and safer for kids and teachers.
Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate it.
Can you also just submit your testimonies, the written testimonies?
Yeah, so you can submit it to.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, Kara, who's next?
Yes, we have Amy Farrell.
Hey there. Are you
Hi,
able to
Amy,
hear
can
me?
you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hold on a second. We can't hear you,
Okay.
but hopefully we'll be shortly.
Okay.
Is
I'll
that
keep
on her
talking.
end, Terry, or ours? Okay.
This one, so the.
Is that better?
It's. Hold on
Does that
a
work
second.
now?
Well, all right, thank you. Sorry about that.
All right, let's try.
No worries.
There we go.
Hi there.
Welcome.
Okay. Thank you for having me. I'm with Effie as well. My name is Amy Farrell. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a public health professional and certified health education specialist. My 2 children go to Woodlawn Elementary, which is a Title I school in North Portland. Our group's analysis has focused initially on elementary, middle, and K-8 schools in PPS, including Access Academy. Our group's corrected analysis of the district's airflow report show that there are 595 kindergarten through 8th grade classrooms that are below 3 changes per hour, and there are an additional 1,110 classrooms, including my children's classrooms at Woodlawn Elementary that are between 3 and 6. We need to invest extra dollars in adding more effective and quieter air purifiers on top of mediocre telepures, to actually get safe air in classrooms now, when it's going to take years at best to revamp our HVAC system. Even after HVAC system upgrades, active air purifiers in the classrooms will still work on top of those upgrades. Effective air purifiers, clean air rate in the classroom, the kids where the viruses are brewing. And instead of a virus is left lingering in the air, it will send teachers into sick days, COVID quarantines, which will require substitutes, which then we need to pay extra incentive money. Effective air purifiers also clean air of the bioaerosols and PM 2.5, and that are the reason for poor ventilation and cause low test scores and speak kids who are less able to focus. My youngest child contracted COVID-19 in the classroom last school year. This year he's been hit with 3 respiratory illnesses, thus far resulting in considerable learning loss. Effective air filtration in every classroom is a matter of health equity, and a huge been remedying the issue of excluding the immunocompromised and disabled students and staff, as well as those that have families with compromised family members and not, as well as reducing the incidence of disability caused by a COVID-19 virus. There are many filters to choose from, and they're often far less expensive than the telepures were. The telepure half speed, as I mentioned, only put out 182 cubic feet of clean air per minute and cost $1,000 in paying retail, and we purchased them bulk. It still costs the district $500 per unit. We have researched lots of different options, including a very powerful, very quiet piece called the Clean Air Kit's Tower of Power. The Tower of Power puts out 480 cubic feet clean air per minute, and it costs around $300 retail. Even at the retail price for kindergarten through 8th grade rooms, two tower powers added to the rooms that are less than 3 CH, and 1 tower power to the room that are between 3 and 6 would total $700,000. And the district spent $3.8 million purchasing air filters that aren't getting the job done, and the district now has $75 million to work with and only need a fraction of that to provide truly safe air for our kindergartners and middle school kids. And that's
Yeah.
that.
You hit right on the nose with time. Thank you very much.
Good.